Hey guys, and welcome back. So today we'll be diving into the exciting world of the Iron Man Mark III premium figure by Hot Toys. So this statue is actually modeled after former Iron Man Mark III design, but is being re-released as a new special edition variant for us. Its features include some really awesome red and chrome accents versus the original red and yellow colors. It also has a lot more shine to it, some incredible custom paint, and some light up functional LED light up function to it as well, right? It'll only be limited to about 3,000 units though, but really screams special edition all across the board. So stay tuned to see why it might be worth adding to your collection. In terms of first impressions, we definitely have a great piece for you today. As mentioned previously, this will be a special edition variant, which was designed by the awesome team over at Hot Toys. This Iron Man armor itself stands out in all the right ways, in my opinion, from the original Mark III design and the model itself. And also, what's good is Iron Man's obviously a very popular character, right? This particular figure itself has some additional incredible details, but on top of that, it has awesome bling factor to it, right? So no matter where and how you display this, it's going to be a centerpiece, no matter what, right? The colors just come out, right at you, and anyone's kind of staring at it. It's also made up. Some of the parts are actually made up of die-cast metal, which is really cool. And it's also not typical. More times than none, they're made of like this plastic resin, but the creative team was able to pull this off very well. So kudos and thanks to them for helping bring this piece to life to us, right? In terms of what actually comes to the figure, as you can see here, that there's a lot to it, right? It doesn't just include accessories, but there's some really cool additional noteworthy features, such as the coloring, which you already mentioned, right? It's not dull or flat like the original gold and red. It has incredible like reflective and clean qualities to both the red and the chrome. Kind of gives it that really incredible showroom look. And also has a lot of posability features as well, right? And in terms of accessories, there's a lot here that you can see, which we'll talk more about later in the video. But some of the noteworthy things I want to highlight are the LED light up functionality, which is actually USB powered. So that means you don't require batteries. You don't need to replace it or charge it, with let's say AAA's or something. It does have a USB powered battery with, inside the actual base, which is really, really cool, right? In terms of diving more into the design itself, as you can see, there's a lot of different sculpting points that were redesigned, right? If you kind of think through how difficult it must have been to get the molds right, especially with die-cast metal, it was probably, not the easiest thing in the world, right? What's good is they had the original Model 3 base and sculpt to work with, but the coloring and the die-cast addition probably makes it a little more difficult to actually get this ready for production, right? It features over 30 points of articulation, and allows for some really cool MCU and action style poses, right? As you can see here in this image that I provided. And also, there's also some enhanced articulation around the waist for some additional movement that allows you to pose him in extra ways that you couldn't do with the original Mark III design. So there's a lot more flexibility there and positioning options. And also the accessories are interactable, which is really cool. And we'll take a look at closer later in the video. In terms of the statue details, it is a 1/6 scale. It will be, or it is rather, 12.7 inches tall and weighs about 5.5 pounds, right? In terms of accessories here, you can see a nice shot of what it comes with, right? You can see all the different hands. I really like how they've included multiple hands as usual, from the repulsor way, fist, open hand, things like that. Also, you see the back flaps, which is a really cool addition, as well as the forearm and leg sort of details as well, right? So you can also see a lot of the LED, which will again look more closely into the later in the video, but there's a nice shot of what it actually comes with. In terms of what else comes with it, more of like the base shot, it's highly displayable, the actual base that it comes with, which is really cool because it's not just a standard base, it's like your sort of like Tony's arc reactor, and it lights up, and also it gives you a lot more customization, right? Otherwise, it does also give the ability to do a lot of extra dynamic poses. Also, if you're a stickler for keeping things looking more or like keeping them in showroom quality, though, I wouldn't recommend leaving him bent in many different positions too long, even though there's a lot more articulation to this, just because of how, the paint may eventually wear off or wear down, right? You want to keep that really nice looking chrome and red reflection quality to it, right? But you'll still be left with a lot of different options, including, maybe even adding to your Hall of Armor, right? So if you have a number of different Iron Man collectibles, you can put model this particular one near the other Iron Man collectibles so that those are more posable and this one's more static, right? So some really good options there, right? Jumping into the statue details themselves, we'll kind of start with the chest area. You can see there's a lot of great details and articulation here. The original molding that this was taken from, it was done very well. I really love all the extra lines, especially and the cuts around the rib area, right? Because you can kind of see the dynamics of the armor itself. It looks very mechanical, from the stomach to the armpit to top of the chest, right? And it's all very seamless looking, right? Although there's a lot of lines and cuts, it looks all modular, with that disconnect, right? And there's some really cool details on the shoulders themselves, and the elbows also have like that I guess you can say hinge look as well, which is really cool. If we take a closer look at his arms, it's really we get to see some of his wrist accessories that come, or forearm accessories that come with the actual figure. Right on the right hand side, you get this really cool shield that opens up from his forearm. And then on the left hand side, you get that original rocket. I think that also came in the original model itself. But you see obviously the red over the missile sort of casing itself. It looks really, really cool. And the details in the hands are also immaculate. Just the fingers, the obscurity of how they bend and how they looks all very well. In terms of getting a really close shot of the shield in the forearm, I want to include this because you can actually see the details in his shield, right? You can see all the mechanical parts that make this shield up so that when it opens up, you can see all the mechanisms inside of it, right? It looks very lifelike. You can see the hinges, the rotaries, and sort of like what makes, what would it look like in real life? Right? It also fits very well in terms of sizing. It's not too bulky, and you can just really see a lot of the inner workings of it. And I also kind of want to call out those micro missiles that are on like his trapezoid area. Really cool as well. One thing I would have maybe liked for them to have added as an accessory is maybe some micro missiles that would be, shooting out of his trapezoid area would have been really cool. Just another dynamic effect. Again, but just having it there, is very good. Already, but it would have been nice to have some additional rockets as well launching or being able to be launched from his micro missile area. Now, if you move on to his back, you really like all the details here. I like the chrome accent right in the top level of his back and how it stands out. The wing flaps look absolutely amazing. I really like how they open up and extend outward without being too bulky or just destroying your view of the actual figure itself. And you can really see all the cool details, such as the venting, like air vents, the holes that make up, allow for airflow, and just the mechanisms that allow it to, or would allow him to fly, right? You can see that in the shoulder blades as well, which looks pretty awesome. If you work down the backside to lower back, you can see again a lot of those like ab lines that connect from his front to his back, right? You can see a lot of the details here and like what's underneath the armor, which gives it that extra dimension of, hey, what's it actually look like, right? With, from a figure standpoint, you can see some of the inner workings here. Again, it helps look make the armor look more alive, and makes it visible so that a person like, such as Tony Stark would be in here, right? So I really like those additional details on the lower backhand side. In terms of the leg area, I like the joint connections with his thighs and knees, right? So there's a lot of pieces here, like a lot of circular kind of like screw casings that you see between his knees and thighs, which is really cool. But obviously the chrome just stands out so beautifully, right? Again, it's not boring, it's not dull. The shaping that they used from the original model looks great, but it's just a color that I really like with this piece, right? And also you can start to see some of the blue LED accessories here in his legs, right? It's part of this light up LED functionalities, which gives another layer of dimension and collectability to the statue, and it also brings extra life, right? Just to the way it looks, but just the blue LED lighting is phenomenal, right? And here's another closer look, or here is rather a close look of some of the incredible details from his calf, right? So when he's like in jet mode or flight mode, you can actually see the flaps opening during that action, right? Now, I really like all the circular details that they've added here, which kind of looks like these small vents which probably would be his like micro boosters that allow him to move forward and back, which is really cool. It looks true to life, and you can actually see all the pneumatics and mechanisms behind it. Which again, if this was all real, it would seem very functional. But the design itself has looks like it has purpose, it has meaning, right? So I like these small little details, especially the pneumatics that they've added here in the cafe. Now, if you get a closer look at some of the LED light up features on the top half here, you can see that the eyes, the repulsor rays, and his unibeam all have this awesome white LED functionality, right? So depending on how you display him and the lighting he's under, if you have him in a nice case, there's gonna be an incredible amount of reflection coming from Tony, right, in this piece. So kind of having him light up is an extra added incentive to want to purchase this. But then plus the reflection of his armor, right? So you have the lights plus reflection, just looks awesome, right? In terms of the base, I also want to kind of dive a little more into this, just because it has some additional features here, like just the fact that it looks like the arc reactor is awesome already, but it has that additional light up LED function as well, so that if you're stepping on it, like you can see on the top left hand side, it's just lit up and looks really cool. Right. It also has the support bracket that allows you to pose him more dynamically as if he's flying, and other poses in the air. And what's important to note here is also it has that special edition Mark III logo on it. So that's always important, especially for collectors. And you kind of want to showcase that as well, because this is a special edition, more money, more sheen, more shine, more collectability to it overall, right? In terms of the ordering information, so here I provided a screenshot directly from Sideshow site. It retails for $400. It's expected to ship around the end of 2024. Again, it's only limited to 3,000 pieces. And my understanding is if you're trying to order from the site itself, is already a wait list. So you may want to join the wait list and see how that's going to work out for you, because they only allow a certain amount of pre-orders every during specific time frames, right? So, definitely check it out. If you're interested, remember to check out the link in the description below if you plan on picking it up or just looking to get more details on this figure, because it'll take you directly to Sideshow's site. Right. So yeah, thanks for joining me today as we explored the new Iron Man Mark III Special Edition by Hot Toys. Are you a fan of the armor? Do you like how Hot Toys is releasing a special edition variant of it, or do you like the original one with the red and gold version? Let me know in the comments below what really stands out to you with this piece, and whether you'll be picking it up. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more content on the coolest superhero collectibles around. And until next time, folks, keep on collecting.